personality, but just love on her. And when you hear her fussing and complaining, and listen, don't get upset with her, because that means that she's still alive, right? When mom is fussing, when my mom used to treasure mom, just love on mom, okay? And and if your mom has went on to be with the Lord, hey, Mother's Day is quickly approaching. And you know what that means? If you are anything like me and your mother passed away and she went to be with the Lord, and listen, she could have went to be with the Lord over 30 years ago when she was 100 years old, and it would have still been too soon, right? Because I know that I miss my mother all the time, but especially during, the holidays or Mother Day is coming up. But I have to be honest with you, this year I kind of have an attitude. Because I think about all the people that do not treasure and adore and appreciate their mother. Now, I'm saying that, right? But I have to also recognize that every woman that gives birth is not necessarily a mother, right? Some women just simply give birth and they did not actually mother their children, right? Some people call their mother their grandmother, right? So some people were raised by their grandmother, or some people was raised by their maybe a favorite aunt, or even a sibling, or a cousin, or whoever you call mom. I know that you miss her, during the holiday season, right? So just think of the fun memories that you've had with her, right? Just think of all the wonderful times that you've had with her, and all the funny stories that you had with her. And and just, if your mother is still here, please treasure her, right? Please make all kind of wonderful memories, and make a lot of videos. Nowadays, you guys can record everything, and all that good stuff. So just make wonderful memories with mom, and not just on Mother's Day, right? Just treasure her, adore her, and recognize that one day she won't actually be here, right? If God sends her home before you, right, she won't always be here. So you want to have all of those memories of her, and just love on mama. Just, even if she tell you, like my mom, get away from me, listen, mama wasn't for all that cuddly hug. That just wasn't mama, okay? That just was not her person. I'm sorry, when I think about it, that just kind of wasn't my mother's personality, right? She was, a mom that was very resilient and strong and, independent, and, and that's just was her personality, but, I just miss her so much, and all the fun memories that I have of her. And, I can remember, I'll share with you a few memories that I have of my mom, right? So, and if I would love for if you would share memories that you have of your mom too, maybe in the comment section. I would love to hear some funny memories that you have of your mom. So I can remember one time that she was ill and she wasn't feeling well, and she was on a special diet, right? And so I actually purchased her a medical alert bracelet, right? Because just for her safety, right? She could push it, if an emergency happened, and then they'll contact me, right? So mom decide she wants to push the button because I would not buy her some fried catfish. Mom wanted fried catfish, but it wasn't a part of her diet, right? So she pushed the button, and she told the medical alert people that my daughter will not buy me some fried catfish. Listen, mama was determined, okay, to get her fried catfish. But anyway, that's funny stories that I have. But, just treasure your mom, and, just love on her and take her out. And listen, and I know that she'll probably get on your nerve, and she'll probably irritate you, and, she probably calls you all the time. But believe me, when the phone is silent, right, when you no longer can hear her voice, you will, have those wonderful memories, and you will be able to treasure it even more, and I know that sometimes our mom can be, well, mommy, that's our mom, right? All of them have their own personality, but, just love on her. And when you hear her fussing and complaining, and listen, don't get upset with her, because that means that she's still alive, right? When mom is fussing, when my mom used to be fussing and complaining, that's when I knew that mom was healthy and fine. It's when they become a little more quiet and a little more reserved that you'll probably be wondering, oh gosh, is she okay? But as long as mom is fussing and complaining and calling you 50 times and checking on you, and, all in your business. And listen, I am the baby of the family, okay? My mother spoiled me to life, okay? Before she passed away, my mother used to still buy Costco groceries and come by my house and drop it to me, okay? Did I need 50 cans of peas? No. Listen, you have to love on mom, and you have to accept her for who she is, right? Because she is your beloved mother. So all the phone calls and, cooking you meals and, maybe even coming up to your job or calling your job 50 times. You better treasure those moments, okay? Because those moments will not always be. You have to, accept the time that you have with her and embrace her and love her and take lots of pictures and even record her voice and, just treasure mom. Just love on mom, okay? And, and if your mom has went on to be with the Lord, I know that, the first year is usually extremely difficult. And, even for some people, it could actually, it changes, right? It's like a wave, right? So one year you may be okay. And then maybe the next year you won't be okay, but it's expected, right? So, just expect that, right? So just enjoy the memories that you had of her. So treasure mom. God bless you. And remember, do not ever give up before the miracle happens. God bless. Bye.